Okay, it's 8th floor. The lift is still out. It's been out for about 3 weeks. Brand new hospital. All right, what have we got here? It's a hot day in DAVAO. A hot day. There's the car park. Over here is the lanes. Yeah. The lanes are out there. The lanes. And SM Langen is on the left hand side. But we're going down here. We're not dropping out the window. We're going to get a taxi where that car is. Right. What have we got to do today? Well, we've got to go and give some bad news to Mark Clark and Priem, because we got the test results from the biopsy, yeah, and the thyroid growth that Priem's got is malignant, which means it has to come out. Very emotional day yesterday. Went to the hospital in the morning. We got the results last week, but we saw the doctor, and the doctor turned around and explained. So let's thank you very much, Mum. Oh, stracciatella ice cream. So emotional, yeah. I was doing the vlog and we were talking back to Annie's brother, and he asked a question which I found really, really hard. He turned around and he asked Annie, am I going to die? Which brought a lump to my throat. I didn't expect that question from her brother. I couldn't answer it because I hadn't asked the doctor that. What we do know is that he's got an overactive thyroid that is creating these nodules inside his neck, and they're malignant, which means, as the doctor said, they're cancerous. They're not evasive cancer like people normally have. These are slow growing, linked to the thyroid. So once you take the thyroid away, then the nodules will go with it, and then you can do some radiotherapy. But the radiotherapy isn't using chemo or anything like that. It's using some pills, iodine tablets that are radioactive. So emotional. It was still emotional last night, and we were talking and we were Skyping Annie's brother's wife, who works in the mountains as a teacher, about 4 hours outside where Priem lives. Priem was really, really down because we had to sit around and tell them what the money was going to be, what the cost was going to be, and that became even more scary. So the price wise, it's 90,000 for the doctor to operate, and that includes the anaesthetist, his time, and 4 hours going through. They go through here underneath the armpit, this area here, and then they go across into the throat area to remove it this way, rather than going down the throat into your voice box. They come underneath. Hello, Mom. ¿Cómo está acá? So they go through here, into this area, take out the nodules, then they do a biopsy, which is included in the price. I think it should be. As I said, 4 hours. The bit that I found quite absurd is that when we asked how much it was going to cost in the hospital, the doctor turned around and said 4 to 5 days. When we went down to the billing department, they turned around and said, oh, it's 3 days. So I said to the young lady, I said, you're not the doctor. The doctor is asking that Priam's spends 5 days recuperating in hospital. You're turning around and telling me only 3. Which really annoyed me, that somebody without, maybe, I don't know, got limited knowledge, because all they do is they turn around and charge you, is turning around and overruling what the doctor is saying. Anyway, so we got 3-day price at the hospital, and it was 50,000 peso a day, so roughly $900 a day. You have to supply your own nurse, because in the Philippines they don't turn around, not like other countries. You get a nurse that comes around and looks after you, make sure you're okay. Here you go in, hospital will take no responsibility at all, even though they charge you $900, and you've got to find a carer that's going to stay night and day in the room. So weren't particularly happy about that. And then we turned around and we asked about the medication costs, because medication costs are separate to your room costs. They couldn't actually tell us what the medication costs are going to be. They couldn't even give an estimate, even though it's a procedure within their hospital remit. So I turned around and I said, okay, aftercare, what would be the aftercare cost? The woman at billing, again, couldn't answer that question. She turned around and directed us to outpatient. We went round to the outpatient, and the outpatient directed us back to billing. So we went back to billing, and I'd had enough by then, because I just think they're incompetent. Yeah, you're asking straightforward questions and you're getting no reply at all, and it's somebody's life on the line, and they got about as much empathy as this ice cream. Yeah, I was livid. Anyway, we know what the doctor's price is. We've got an estimate of 50,000 a day, and the billing secretary says 3 days, the doctor says 5. So let's turn around and take the doctor, because he's the professional, isn't he? He's the one that's going to be opening up. So we're going to be looking at 250,000 peso for a 5-day stay. And then we spoke to the doctor about medication. And the doctor's secretary and the doctor on the 8th floor were really, really good. They turned around and said that iodine radioactive pills, the course, which is I believe 14 days, okay, but the doctor turned around and said that it depended on the severity of the invasiveness of the thyroid. So he turned around and said 14 days would cost 75,000 peso. Which you've got to have, haven't you? Can't have the operation and then not turn around and do what you've got to turn around and do. So, wait there, coffee.